Ladies and gentlemen, Glen Lauderdale.
Oh, hi. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. Yes, glad to be here. If I wasn't here, I'd be somewhere else. Um, here, let's start off with a fun fact about me. Would you believe that I have only been to one strip club in my life? Yes, I know. It's true. I mean, I've been there several times, but just the one place, just one. Really wanted to keep up that brand loyalty, you know. If I'm being honest, it's one particular stripper. Her name was Patricia, or she calls herself Delisha. It's a reference. Look it up. Um, what am I doing here? What really am I doing here? Be addressing the camera for that. Well, like I said, my name is Glen Lauderdale. I fancy myself a kind of funny person. If any of you watching has spent any amount of time online, maybe you have heard of a comedian named Bo Burnham. Very funny man. Recently put out a special few months ago now, and there was something he said in it near the end that I kind of took to heart. I almost took it as a call to action, as it were. Um, in the song near the end, he a couple times it says something like, "Who wants to tell a joke with no one laughing in the background?" Um, Later on, he specifically says, "Hey, here's a fun idea. How about I sit on the couch and I watch you next time? I want to hear you tell a joke with no one laughing in the background." Well, here I am in my room with a couple of lamps and the webcam on my computer and some stuff that I think is kind of funny. And we'll see if anybody else finds it funny. So, Bo, if you're watching, these are some jokes for you. I know this kind of looks a bit unpolished because I'm in my room. This is my actual desk. Um, this may get uncomfortable, and boy, howdy, will this be awkward. So, shall we jump into it? Let's jump into it. Let's again pretend I'm talking to a crowd instead of a wall. In these times, and it's these times because we all know what that means at this point. Many of us have been spending more time online. Um, Maybe a select number of us have been frequenting certain websites online. I'm talking about adult material, porn. We're all watching porn. We're all watching porn, right? It's not just me. I admit it. Sorry, wrong hand. This hand. um, and I'm starting to think with the times I've frequented said websites, I am starting to acknowledge that maybe we should treat porn a little less seriously. Do you know what I mean? Like, we all know it's not real, right? We should all consider it a form of entertainment, which it is, because some of the categories or genres of porn that exist, kind of ridiculous, right? There's one kind of one genre of porn that unsettles me a little bit, just makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, because it involves step siblings, which may or may not include a washing machine. This bothers me a bit because I grew up with step siblings and washing machines, and never in my life did I even consider putting those two things together. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's meant to be funny, because why would you be laughing if I was serious about it? No, it's a joke. Regardless, Nick's family dinner is still going to be awkward. Just going to take a drink of water for that one. Squid Game is a show that exists. Yes, I'm making sure that this will be irrelevant by next week. So Squid Game is a show that's become popular recently, and I've heard there's been a lot of discussion on whether or not to watch it with subtitles or with a dub over. Subs versus dubs, which makes me think finally the rest of the world knows exactly what anime fans feel like. Subs versus dubs, big debate between them. I didn't need to explain that. You can look it up for yourselves. Well, let's get back to me as well. Growing up, and still, to this day, I was a bit of a picky eater, kind of fussy when it came to trying new foods. But growing up, I would always say, I hated certain foods, despite having no idea what certain things taste like. But I grew up to, say maybe I don't hate that, but I have not tried it. And when I hear adults now saying, "Oh, they hate this," I strongly dislike that. I just feel a little disappointed in the phrasing. Like, nobody's forcing you to try these things. You're an adult, you can make your own decisions, alright? If you have a strong opinion against mustard, I'm not going to force it to try mustard. I might try to be funny for a second, but I'm not going to force mustard upon you. And of course, Holly debated food topic or topping on pizza, pineapple. People, if they love it, they'll make sure to tell you. If they hate it, they'll tell you to go die. Which, again, strong opinions. And I'm of the opinion of, who cares, really? Because, I've had, Hawaiian pizza, ham and pineapple, and sure, my favorite is, classic pepperoni, maybe pepperoni and bacon, and so it's like ham and pineapple. It's not my favorite. I'll have it if there's not enough pepperoni to go around, but to have a strong opinion of pineapple, just, again, nobody's forcing to have the pineapple. Just, do what you want. It's your life. Just, Anyway, all this, food talk and, fussiness about food, I have this hypothesis, you see, and my hypothesis, my theory is, if you know someone who's fussy with food and you'll want to help encourage them to maybe try new things, my suggestion is get them high. Yes, get them to a state where they have the munchies. Maybe that will open up their minds or mouths to their stomach to try new things. I came about this hypothesis, as I'm calling it, from an experience in college, because of course it was college. I had a roommate who, on occasion, partook in the marijuana, and at this point, I tried it a couple times. I kind of knew what was up, and this is late afternoon, just before dinner, and And you see, going out, I knew we had a pizza in the freezer that we were going to cook. And of course, the kind of pizza, it was a deluxe pizza. Again, not my favorite, not top of the list. I prefer, I get, like you said, just regular pepperoni, which is on the deluxe, but it also has like green peppers, olives, a few other things. Usually, if I am presented with a deluxe pizza, I might pick that off, leave the pepperoni. But this time, I did not care. Excuse me. I partook with my roommate, and came back, put the pizza in the oven, and I tell you, I was not only did I not care, I was excited to have this pizza because that's just the state I was at. Just, oh, pizza's ready, give it to me. Ow. I did not care. So, if you got a friend that's willingly wanting to, smoke up and is also happens to be picky with food, maybe put those things together, maybe present them. I don't know, just a suggestion, just throwing that out there. Make of that what you will. Well, to continue on, I've got a tale of sorts. The tale in which I got a kind of skin infection called cellulitis. So for those of you who don't know, like I said, cellulitis, it's a kind of skin infection, a very colorful skin infection. Usually you get it if you have like some sort of cut, lesion, perhaps maybe an animal bite, whatever, means of bacteria to get into your skin and spread. Well, when I got it, I was a little oblivious as to how I got it. From my point of view, I just woke up late one morning and noticed, my foot's a little pink. My foot's a little sore. What's that about? So I went on with my day, hoping I would just be able to walk it off. Didn't work. Later on in the day, I did notice that I was experiencing a little bit of lightheadedness, little bouts of drowsiness too, and at the time, I just talked it up to be, maybe it was just me getting some sun the day before. I'm pretty sure it was a fever, but at no point throughout this day did I question this at all. Like a smart person. And even as, walking became slightly more difficult and I saw more shades of pink and purple on my foot and later my ankle, I didn't ask anyone. I did eventually consult WebMD. Super helpful. Basically diagnosed me with everything shy of cancer. So, I knew this was ridiculous, and once again, moved along. And, despite my foot and ankle not looking good, it had the number of shades of pink and purple that would make a sunset jealous. It, you know how it looked at, you know that leg lamp, a tacky leg lamp from A Christmas Story? It'd be like the kind of leg lamp that the Addams family would have. Grotesque, gross-looking lamp, just right there on their mantle. Be a talking point amongst the family, for sure. Anyway, so eventually my stepdad noticed I was walking a little funky. Seemed to be favoring one side. So he asked me what was up. It was like, at this point, it was figured, yeah, I gotta show somebody. And so I showed him, and immediately, as soon as he saw it, I was like, yeah, you better get yourself to a walk-in clinic. So I did. Walked in best as I could, just kind of opening the law. And first, Nurse looks at it and says, that kind of looks infected. Asked me if I had any cuts, scrapes, animal bites, whatever. I had no idea. I had no clue what was going on. So of course, doctor then looks at it. Yeah, that's definitely infected, is what that is. Again, asked me if like any cuts, scrapes, whatever, anything. I had no idea. I did, of course. Doctor did suggest going to the emergency room, so I did. And it wasn't until I pulled up to the ER did I realize what had happened. Well, you see, at the time I had this ingrown toenail on this foot. It was the big toe, and see, just before all this was happening, what was I doing? I was picking at this ingrown toenail. I was picking at it, trying to, clip certain parts away to get the jabbing bits out of my toe. And yeah, of course that was a bad idea. That's how I got the infection. So of course I needed words. Awesome. So of course I needed antibiotics and needed intravenous for a few days, and then pills for about 2 weeks. So that was fun. And of course it was strongly recommended that I go see a foot doctor for the ingrown toenail. And of course, I didn't know what to expect from that, so I, hesitated and procrastinated more until Labor Day long weekend. You know what I did? I got cellulitis again, the exact same way, like an idiot. At least this time I knew what was going on. So, it was early enough that I just went to the walk-in clinic. They gave me pills for antibiotics, and that cleared up just fine. And, of course, I figured maybe cellulitis twice is enough times. So I did eventually go see a foot doctor to get my ingrown toenail bits, removed. So, case in point, one, if you've got an ingrown toenail, see someone about that. And two, if your foot's turning, kind of a few shades of funky colors, yeah, definitely see someone about that. Is what I would recommend. Well, I think that's where I'm gonna leave you. Now I know some of you might be thinking, "Oh shit, are you really talking?" Yes, I'm talking. What I mean to say, are you really joking at a time like this? It's what 1:45 in the morning. So what do you mean? You mean, of course, at a time like this, time in which we're living in, not really joking around about, food preferences and skin infections. Well, yeah, I guess so. What I'm really just hoping I got out of this is just maybe make some of you at home laugh or chuckle, or, if you watch this thing alone, maybe you just exhaled out of your nose. But if you hated it, that's fair. But yeah, really, I just, hope some of you enjoyed this to some extent. And if anybody else in your life, friend, family member, stranger maybe, if they seem a bit down, maybe just, crack them a joke. Who knows? Maybe it'll give them a smile for a second. That's really all I can ask for. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna leave you with one final joke, solid joke, classic setup, punchline type thing. Then I'll leave you be. All right. You ready for it? All right. Here we go. Okay. So this guy, he goes to see a doctor. He says he's suppressed. He feels like he's all alone in this threatening world, and his future seems unclear and bleak, and he's not good. He's not doing good, you see. And his doctor thinks for a minute. She wants him to, give him the best suggestion, and then he realizes he comes up with an idea. He says, the great clown Pagliacci is in town. That'll, great comedian, great clown. That'll cheer you up. The man bursts into tears. He says, but doctor, I am Pagliacci. That's a sad joke. That's a sad joke. Trying to be funny and stuck in a room. There isn't much more to say about it. Can one be funny when stuck in a room? Being in, trying to get something out of it. Try making faces. Try telling jokes, making little sounds. I was a kid who was stuck in his room. There isn't much more to say about it when you're a kid and you're stuck in your room. We'll do any old shit to get out of it. Try making faces. Try telling jokes, making little sounds. Well, look who's inside again. Went out to